give it up. He wouldn't tell anybody about it. So Jerry wanted me to go with. I didn't know what we were doing. I just got in, and he said, "Let's go. We'll go to the base." Okay. So get out there, and he'd made arrangements apparently for a midnight rendezvous, and
Oh my gosh.
checked out
Jerry.
the guy without any paperwork, put him in the back of the car, and I rode with the guy in the back of the car. And the guy said, "I'm not talking to y'all. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't have anything to say." Okay, you don't want you to say anything. Don't worry about it. That's what Jerry kept telling him. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. And I forgot the case. He was a homicide because I shot it. But
Now, Bruce will
we
be
got
back.
to we got to the Hargett Street and turned into the Jacksonville Cemetery after midnight on a dark and stormy night, and drove way down in the back side of it over toward JNC. It
Yeah.
kind of goes down like this,
Yep.
and we went down there. And the guy said, "Where are we going?" He said, Jerry said, "Don't talk to us. We don't want to talk to you." Got out of the car. He said, takes a shovel out and tells the guy, he says, "Start digging right over here." What? Are you looking at something live?
Wait a minute, I'm just- Oh, they can hear us.
It's going to be one of them bar days for those of you who were listening early. Good.
Well,
Sometimes stuff happens. Oh, howdy. Howdy. We're heading into another weekend. Here we are. So let's kick things off and proclaim that this is Friday Eve. Wish I had thought to ask the mayor of Holly Ridge for a proclamation to that effect when he was here on Tuesday. That would have been good. He could have written us one right then and there, couldn't he? I proclaim that Thursday will be Friday Eve.
Friday.
So
Officially.
there you go. The woke folks say I can assume whatever identity I want, so I'm going to be the head of a government agency.
Wow.
That's what I want to do. As soon as I decide which one I want to lead, that's what I will do. I will assume that identity. Is there a problem with that?
No, Bruce Wayne had a
according to
second
this.
identity.
Not whatsoever.
That way, at noon tomorrow, I will be out of the office for the rest of the day, not available by telephone, but I can be reached on Monday morning.
Yeah.
I'll work on where I can be boss without working a lot during the weekend break coming up. So Oh, well, I'm also thinking I'd be a great television star these days. Been wanting to do that. I can do commercials. I'm going to be chaos.
No.
Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown, Chief of Chaos at your service. Y'all are who?
I'm Chris Marks with the Face for Radio.
I'm Lee Barrels, and I'm just here.
She's our Hamlet.
This is what I have to deal with every morning.
Yeah, I get no. What the reason I said
The Hamlet.
is whenever I talk to someone, say, "You have a very nice voice. You should be in radio." Well, have been, sort of am, but I was always told I had the face for radio.
Yeah, I was too, many times.
I'm just sitting here quietly. Y'all go ahead.
We're done. I'm done.
Oh my goodness gracious! As we were parting company yesterday, Lee came breaking in here. Hold on! We got some breaking news.
Oh
Yeah.
The breaking news was popping up down there in Texas.
Wow.
A man with a gun opened fire into what is known as a Sally port at a jail. ICE agents were bringing illegals to be housed in the facility until their cases could be heard on their way to deportation. The gunman shot 3 detainees, killed 2, right? Wounded 1, and then turned the gun on himself. Sally Port is an area where law enforcement officers drive into the area with prisoners. The door closes behind them, and the prisoners are then transferred into the complex. They can't get out. In other words, you take a prisoner up to the front door of a jail or wherever you go, and the minute you open the door, he's a flight risk. So that's the reason they have these. You enter on one end of this so-called Sally port, and the door opens. You drive in, the door closes behind you. So you've got like a controlled environment, and then you can open the other door, or the folks on the inside will open the other door so you can exit your car and go into that location. It's a safe way of generally safe way of transporting folks over, but what a mess. Anyway, they after they were supposed to be transferred, the gunfire broke out. The gunman, 29-year-old guy named Joshua Yan, Jahn, he was on top of a nearby building, firing multiple rounds at the ICE headquarters and into the transport van. Then he killed himself. What? Ammunition they found at the scene had anti-ICE hate messages on the cases. What's all this about? I don't ever remember. I have no idea how many crime scenes I've been to. Okay, no, I don't have a clue. Gun violence, guns left behind, bullets, casings. Holy mackerel! I never remember any of them with anything written on them. Nothing, not one. This is something new for me.
I think it's new for everybody, don't?
Yeah, it's the thing now. You hear news stories about one and somebody doing that, and then another person, I'm gonna do it too. And
If he can do it, I can do it.
yeah,
But,
where's the Sharpie?
The only ones I've ever seen were back during World War II, and I guess from that point on, a lot of the guys loading bombs onto airplanes, on aircraft carriers, and whatever, and heading for their targets. They, in the spirit of pro-Americanism, they would write "Here's to you" and whatever the dictator's name was, or whatever the target was, or something. They would do that. But that was all in keeping your humor going, and in a battle situation. I understand this is just mean. There's something really, really wrong. This whole anti-police rhetoric, it's got to stop, because that's what it's generally aimed at. Hate speech, political rhetoric, pitting political platforms against each other, promoting violence. Y'all out there understand. Hate speeches, threats on social media, regardless of who you are, messages written on bullets left at crime scenes. Do you not understand the mentality of those people that you are reaching? It's not your mentality that I'm concerned about so much. We know you're in a nut job. But how about all of those other people out there that are just not sailing with a full sea bag? You understand? Those are the people you're reaching. You're not reaching normal people. Normal people just look at you with disdain. We know what you are. And I'm not speaking of the killers like this guy. I'm talking to the politicians for the most part, the political wannabes too often. They're creating such hate and discontent in this country. And the only people that are reacting to what they're saying are people with severe issues. Those are the people that you got to worry about. The people who get excited with such messages are as sick as firebugs who start fires, then sit around and wait for the fire department to show up, doing strange things that I won't describe. That's the kind of people that you're talking to. Now, is that the kind of people you want to excite with your rhetoric? Whether it's on Facebook or whether it's with hate-filled political messages otherwise?
Well,
Something to
yeah,
think about
I
it.
agree. And I like what Ted Cruz, his comments yesterday at the scene. He gave a very feisty opinion, and his remarks, I thought, were right on point, that we've got to stop this demonizing and demonizing. We've got to stop this. I mean, going after the police, going after ICE, I mean, there's targets on their back now. And it doesn't help news media outlets that put out stories that are not true, that makes ICE look like pure monsters. There was a story, an incident involving ICE in Massachusetts, where they stopped this car, and the guy inside, he refused to he refused to surrender to immigration authorities. And they made a legit stop on his vehicle when they saw him out to apprehend him, not knowing that his daughter was in the car. So they took her out of the car, placed her in their vehicles for safety but they did give her back to her family.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the news media picked it up that the ICE agents were using the 5-year-old girl as bait to go to get her father. So stories like that are just ridiculous. Well, see, they called in the local police to assist him, and the local police took the child and gave it back to the family. Right. But, they had seen him and went to stop him, not knowing at the time that the 5-year-old child was in there. So it's these stories that some of your media puts out there.
Incite.
It's a pure
people.
Smear campaign.
They're inciting people, and that's all they're doing.
Well, the mother's like screaming, "Oh, they used my daughter as bait." So, oh, yes, write that down and put it right out there, without investigating the full thing. So.
In talking with some of our friends and my friends who have been in television, we talk about the reporters. They're going through that cycle right now. They're getting, new local reporters, young reporters that are just getting out of college. This is my take. They want to make that story that's going to get them their next job. So they're trying to climb that ladder at any cost. Okay?
Yeah, I think they get excited about things too, and
and in doing so, they're not presenting the story; they're presenting the theatrics behind what's
Theatrics behind
Right.
what they think is actually happening, and they have no idea what the end result is. They don't know what the story is.
Well,
They
that's
have no
like-
clue.
yesterday when the story first broke, they were saying 2 were killed, 3 injured. All that's changed. There's only 1 killed now. But we'll chat back and forth on our special chat when we hear breaking stories, and we'll start with, okay, this is what they're saying right now. And by the end of the night, when we're done chatting, the story's changed like 5 or 6 times.
Yes.
Initial reports, you can say these are the initial reports, but don't count that those are going to be
Whenever any
end report.
reporter quotes a source, unnamed source, close to the investigation, you're a liar.
Mhm.
And sources close to the investigation generally are not going to be talking with you. If they're that close to the investigation to really know the real facts, they're not going to talk to you because they know better.
So if you're employed by the White House, by the administration, you
As a janitor or what?
whatever,
Yes. And you're
whatever.
close to the investigation or
Right.
close to the source.
So what you see, what you hear, what you read, you don't give out. Probably.
You
That's part of
can't
your job
once-
requirement.
You can't once until you get caught,
Until
and then
you
you're one and done.
So what I love is these national news going, and our White House sources tell us, how long are they going to be your White House source? Someone's leaking this. Someone's giving out information. That's what they're saying.
If it's political in nature, then it's called propaganda, and it's been given out with intent to confuse you, or the other side, or
Yeah.
whoever. If they're doing that, then they can't say it. They choose not to say it because it becomes very official. But if they leak it to somebody else or to these days, a blogger, whoever's got a podcast, somebody wants to make a name for themselves, they will leak. Let's go back to the Clintons and that, what was that group that she had reached out to the guy, the ex MI6 guy. Oh, what was that whole thing called? And for information about that wasn't true, fake information. And he leaked it. He investigated. He's not anybody, but he leaked it to somebody else who leaked it. And then, believe it or not, the FBI began an investigation on it based upon the leak. Now, the original leak came from the FBI to somebody else, to this foundation, who leaked it back to the FBI. God, really? And so that's how things work. I don't believe things that are leaked, generally speaking, right up front.
No, I don't. And most people that know me will talk to me will know I only deal with two things: facts.
We'll talk to you.
Facts or logic. Facts and logic. That is it.
We'll talk to you.
Everything else.
I deal with a lot
Yes.
of lies, but I usually have fun with
Well,
those.
you know, we here behind the scenes, we get a lot of tidbits sent to us,
Mhm.
but unless we have a way of proving it factually, we don't air it because, you know, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
No.
You don't know what, and we're going to air it. It's going to be the truth.
And folks who tell us stuff,
Well, please continue to tell us.
even if they're in here, they
Right.
say things. I challenge them, not in a way because I don't believe them, but in a way I want them to verify, prove. Because I need a little bit more information than a lot of y'all need, apparently. And the types of people that are politicians, and I have to pick on them because so much of this originates in the political arena, and that's the disgusting part.
Right.
That or in subversive groups, and so many of the subversive groups really don't want a whole lot of information out because it all points back to them anyway.
Right.
So they don't. You don't see the cartel leaking information, okay? Yeah, that's just the way it is. But the type of people that these political wannabes reach with hate-filled partisan messages, they don't even vote. Have you ever done any? I have looked at the records and stuff like that. They
I
may
do.
be-
You know
I know
I do.
you do. They may be
Yes.
registered to vote, but you find out, when did they vote last? 2004. What? You know, that's the kind of stuff.
Right.
That's the kind of people that you're reaching so often. They're easily swayed. They're very easily swayed into doing stupid and too oftentimes violent things.
Yep.
I would love for every one of our political leaders, everybody in this country, all government leaders, whether political or not, those who are appointed, hired, or whatever, the paid pundits who write and advise candidates, they are paid to be my advisor. And I want them to write my political BS. I want them to do this. It's not coming from you. It's something they generate because this is something they read about. And these days are using fake intelligence to generate a lot of that. I will go into that one a little bit later because I found a great example yesterday. I wish they would just grow up. I wish they would all be required to go to high school football games in the South. for one season at least, and stay until the game is over with and watch what happens at the end of the game. These people who are fighting each other tooth and nail on the field at the end of the game, and I post their pictures every time I do photos, they're the teams, the cheerleaders, the coaches, they're walking by each other from the opposing side and they're shaking hands.
Any sport except right now Major League Baseball. When they have a contest, soccer, basketball, baseball, football, the teams go by, they slap hands, have a good game, good game, good game. Whether they mean it or not, they're doing it. It's an extension of sportsmanship.
And it's the first step. It's the first step of being respectful.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I'll go into it later. We have a guest on it, but
it'd be very refreshing to have the so-called adults we have elected to represent us, those who have been hired by those adults we have elected to represent us. It would be wonderful if they would follow the lead and the example set forth by both TV and varsity football teams. JV, and the varsity football teams. I'm not so familiar with the basketball because I don't generally go to those games. I should.
we do.
I don't.
No, I mean we basketball players.
Yeah.
We extend our hand after the game,
Good. That's great.
and that's somebody that's took your tooth out.
Get your speech writers.
Wrestlers hug.
If your speech writers can't tell me what you as a candidate can do for me, and that's all I really care about at that time, without tearing your opponents down, if you have to belittle the person you're running against or the people in the other party, whatever that is, if you have to tear them down for you to look good, then you're not very good.
Yeah.
And you're making a lot of people like me mad. Your messages are lost. That's the Dallas shooter is believed to have been living in Oklahoma, by the way.
Wow. You do know you're talking about these elected officials, and we have one sitting here, and he's giving me the side eye during your story.
I live with an elected official, served 12 years in the school board and the county commissioners here.
Mm-hmm.
Not all elected officials are that way. And most of the elected officials that I always end up talking about are not even elected by local candidates. They vote for them, but they are so far, and most of them are not even elected to serve in North Carolina. They're elected to serve up yonder. 535 of them plus a president. Those are the elected officials that I generally have to refer to because they're the ones who make the news. Because the locals, like this gentleman right here, they're held accountable because their phone numbers, we know where they work, we know their phone numbers, and so does everybody else who votes for or against them.
Great point, because you can actually
accountable.
They're accountable, and you can reach them. You can talk to them. For those in DC, I will get through. I will get through.
Yeah, but you want to take your club and go beat the president, is what you said.
Defeat.
You said beat.
I know I said beat, but I meant defeat.
No, you said we have it on record. I'll take my club, my one club, and beat the president.
Okay.
We have it.
Golf, boys.
Don't tell the Secret Service.
Golf.
Oh, they listen.
There's a couple suits walking in the door.
Yeah.
Oh, they got to get by the vicious dogs that we have here.
That's right. I heard you challenge him in golf.
Yeah,
I
you're right.
heard that.
Going to beat him with a club, right? With his one club.
Yeah.
Royce Bennett, County Commissioner Extraordinaire. And I can't go into all your credentials. You've got more credentials than Miss America's got.
Miss America.
Yeah, I mean, they've done this and they've done that and everything else. If you don't read their bios.
Okay.
Your resume is really building this morning.
You're Royce Bennett's one of our county commissioners here in Onslow County. This is 2 times this week. No, you were here last week, right?
Was
Yeah.
it just last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
promised to come back and talk about this new program that the county has.
Yeah, the one that's it'll keep me from bouncing my head up and down as I drive down the road. I can give you one right now, Wilson Circle in Richlands. It takes 3 hours to go 2 miles on this dirt road. It's not even dirt. It's pothole road.
If it's in the town of Richlands, it's Richlands' problem.
I don't know that it's in the town of. I got to check that out because I got to go back
Yeah.
there again today.
Oh, I know where
My
you're
poor,
talking
my
about.
poor Jeep is just like, golly.
Yeah, it's a private road.
The
so-
GPS doesn't even work.
Good morning, Royce.
Good morning, y'all. I heard Rayford saying he's going to challenge the elected. So I'm ready for your challenge.
I'm going to challenge you. Is that what I said?
What did he say? You're going
You gotta challenge people's
challenge
comments.
people's. Yep, that's
Yeah.
right. You challenge people.
Well, no,
I agree. You do.
I challenge.
That's
I mean,
good.
if you say something, I want you to say, okay, yeah. And a lot of you can tell me right now the sky's blue, and I'll look outside and say, yep, we got no problem with that one.
I'm good with challenges. I enjoy them. Yeah.
But, if you tell me it's raining and there's not a drop of water out there, then I'm going to ask you
I'm
some
telling
more.
you, we need rain.
We're going to get it.
We supposed to get rain tomorrow.
I don't know.
Have y'all done the weather yet?
No.
Not yet. No, that
Yeah, we
we've
should.
not
We better
done
go
the
ahead
weather.
and knock it out real quick, like
Yeah,
before
we can just let's.
we hold you here.
lead
Let's
I was
weather
trying to
through it.
wait till you finished the weather before I came in, but
All right, Rayford, let's weather through it.
All right, let's look over towards Europe first. If you're planning to play on the ocean, listen up. Why towards Europe? Today, out to 20 nautical miles for the marine forecast. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, 10 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop tomorrow. Southwesterly winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3. Waves 2 footers, about 4 seconds apart. Going to get a little bit choppy as we go through. Saturday, southerly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
Today, a slight chance of an afternoon shower, mostly sunny with a high near 89, south wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 16. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 71. Friday, an increased chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 89. Friday night, football night, the lows
for
will be
us.
dropping to 70, but the chances for showers and thunderstorms are looking a little bit stronger, so keep a watch on that. And Saturday, showers likely with thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 84. We just need some rain.
All right, we're
I'm
going
going.
to check in with our the Onslow Amateur Radio Club, our weather spotters, and we have grown in number as of this morning. Randy out there in Southwest, 68 degrees, 99% humidity, no rain in the borough. Joe from the borough said it was 75 this morning. No rain at Emerald Isle. It was 77. Can you imagine? 6 o'clock in the morning, it was 77 degrees already. Lee, not you, the other one, over in the swamp, the back swamp. He had fog, 72 degrees, 99% humidity, and no rain. Craig over in Richland, 74 degrees. It was foggy there. And Ken in Onslow Bay, right down here off of the Piney Green Road area, it was 70, 99% humidity, clear. There was nothing there. He had beautiful stars, he said, in the sky. No rain. And Dale over in River Bend, 69 degrees, 99% humidity, no rain. And here at the studio, it was 69, 99% humidity, no wind, no rain at the time. And it is still 69 degrees and 99% humidity. And
Lady Blue.
KR4GXD, a.k.a. Lady Blue, we know her as Lee in
Weather
the
forecast.
woodlands of
You didn't write
Northwoods.
mine down?
Yes, I did. I got it right here. I was
Okay.
going to say it. 73 degrees, 95% humidity, and no rain. That had to give you a build up for that,
That
right?
is correct. And you know, Royce used to live in the woodlands too,
So
till he turned Yankee and went elsewhere.
went north.
Oh,
Left the hood.
you left the hood?
He left the hood.
Went to the other
You
hood.
get
The wood.
no.
You left the woods. Royce Bennett's, Lee posted a video last night. Is
A
teasing,
teaser.
promoting some road stuff this morning.
Oh yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
a
I missed
band.
that.
It was a band going down the road, go boom, 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 and it was like, holy moly! I mean, I got sick looking at it, and I don't get seasick.
We all have a chiropractor appointment after
Yes, we
the
do.
show this
I
morning.
can
I mean, I brought
remember.
mine right here with me, so I can work on my
I
neck.
can
this
remember
morning.
traveling those roads delivering mail, and some of them we had to cut off service.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started working on orphan roads 20 years ago when I was with the Board of Realtors. The realtors were very tried very hard to find a solution to orphan roads.
Hard to sell a house
In
down a
Onslow
road
County.
that you can't get to, right?
Yeah, and again, it's almost 9 years as a county commissioner. I've been working on trying to find a solution for orphan roads.
Now, these are roads that are going to be outside a municipality and roads that the DOT may or may not have any dealings with, right?
And that's the roads the DOT does not maintain. And
Yeah.
just for a little bit of understanding for people, North Carolina counties do not do road maintenance. It is actually against the law for counties to do road maintenance in North Carolina. That is a North Carolina Department of Transportation function, and we have no road right of ways, no road easements, no roads that belong to or are maintained by the county. So what had to happen was there had to be legislation passed to allow us to, as a county, to help with orphan roads. And that's
Now,
how we came up with this orphan road.
How do you describe an orphan road?
Okay,
Define it.
So an orphan road is a road that's been abandoned by the developer, that doesn't have any kind of homeowners association or road maintenance agreement, that has never been turned over to the state of North Carolina for the state road maintenance program.
And the state of North Carolina won't accept all roads to take for them to even take and put under their plan, right?
That's true, and the roads have to meet the state standards in order for the state to take them over. Now, I've heard, and I saw a few comments on Facebook that said, you don't need the county, you can do this yourself. And I absolutely,
Please.
they can please do that themselves if they want to. And so that leads me to the steps of our Orphan Road Loan Fund program. Okay, because these are the same steps basically that a citizen would have to do if they want to do it themselves. But citizens, for the county program, they submit their road name to the Onslow County Planning to verify eligibility. So we're going to make sure that the road meets the criteria. One of the criteria is the road has to be connected to a state road. Okay, so you can't pick a road that's in the middle of the subdivision and get it added to the program unless everything between there and the state maintained road are all in the program. So what we do, and you know what, any citizen can submit that application to DOT if they want to do that. But what the county does on behalf of the citizens now is submit the petition to the DOT and make sure that we jump through all the DOT hoops
Dot
to
all
get
the
that
I's, cross all the
petition
T's.
submitted. And then the DOT reviews the petitions that we send them, and they look at the roads and they tell us what they give us a list of what has to be done in order to make that road meet state standards. Then the county will go to our local metropolitan planning organization, JUMPO. You've heard of JUMPO.
Yes.
And with the assistance of JUMPO, we'll prepare a cost estimate for the project. And then under the state law, 75% of the affected property owners have to agree that they're going to pay back this loan if we give them the money to do it. So we're going to take this estimate.
What happens to the other 25% that do not agree?
Well, once the road is repaired, everybody will be assessed
They will
the
assess,
cost,
okay.
right? Whether they sign the petition or not. So once we have a signed petition, then the county will contract to have the roads repaired, and brought up to state standards. And after the roads are submitted and accepted by the state of North Carolina, then we can start assessing the property owners for the cost.
Okay.
Okay. So that's kind of it's a long process, but that's the way it is. We can't assess the property owners until the roads are taken over by the state.
Mhm.
And we got to go through this process to make it happen.
If you're living on a road and it's called Bennett Lane, and it goes down 2 miles to get to your house, a one lane lane, and you're the only person going to be served on that piece of property, the chances of it ever being taken over by the state are pretty close to zero, right?
Yes. One of the requirements, and I don't have the exact number, but there is a requirement that there have a certain number of residents living on the road in order for the state to take it over.
Right.
So I don't remember. I think it's just 4, but I could be
That's the way it
wrong
was
about that.
with the post office. In order for us to go down a private road, we
Uh-huh.
had to have a certain number of people. They had to sign an agreement that they would keep the road up before we would even travel down the road.
Right.
Got a caller that may have a question for you.
Good.
Steve, you got an orphan road you want to bring to Royce's attention?
Morning, Steve.
Y'all might could even guess this one. I was going to ask, what do you do when the state abandons a road like Piney Green?
But we're going to try and get some volume to Steve. We're going to get some volume to Royce's.
Abandons
Yeah.
Piney Green Road? What do
I
you
know. I said, what do you do when the state abandons a road like Piney Green?
You're gonna
where
have
they
to
haven't
ask
done the
him again.
maintenance?
You think the state has abandoned Piney Green Road?
Steve, can you repeat that? Royce now has headphones with volume.
I got you.
Thanks.
My question was, what do you do when the state abandons a road like it appears on Piney Green Road where the grass ain't been cut and weeds are growing over the curbs and stuff like that?
There's absolutely nothing that the county can do.
I got you. It seems like from an economic standpoint, that would be important. When they spent, I would assume tens of millions of dollars upgrading Piney Green, and they actually ran quite a few businesses off from down there, and then turn right around and don't maintain it. I think would be discouraging to economic growth in the area as well.
Totally agree. Totally agree with you on that. I would, I wish I could wave a magic wand and make the DOT do what we want them to do.
Good luck.
I got you. It just seems like there would be some type of recourse, some avenue you could take in that situation. It can't be the only time they've done that.
You ever been to New York City, Steve?
Not really concerned with them, but no, I haven't.
So
I
you
don't
have,
care how they do it there.
so you haven't been. You're anticipating I'm going to say something, but have you ever seen the television news stories about the naked cowboy, the singing naked cowboy?
What?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So
with
maybe with you and your guitar, you could set up in the middle of Piney Green Road on the median somewhere and start a protest by singing mostly naked.
I'm on the side of progress, and that doesn't sound like that would be would be in the right direction. So,
In other words, there's not a whole lot knowing DOT, as I know DOT, and looking across the aisle, across the table here, as I know that Commissioner Bennett knows full well about DOT. There's not a whole lot of power that we as individual citizens or the county commissioners have over DOT.
Well, if you want to get, if you want to dig deep into the issue, I think that in our district we have something in the neighborhood of $600 million worth of unfunded DOT projects just in our district. Across the state, they're billions and billions of dollars worth of projects that need funding that aren't getting funded. And it comes eventually it comes to the fact that the only funding that DOT gets is gas tax. Our legislature many years ago capped the gas tax, so it can't go but so high. So that's limited the road maintenance and building fund, so that there's just not enough money in the state fund to fund all the road needs.
If it's coming
So-
straight from income like gas tax.
The only option
The
is
number of people
you-
driving less and the number of EV cars out there on the road that don't pay gasoline tax. See, those are all issues.
right.
in this
So
whole
the only real solution is somebody is going to have to pay more taxes to get more roads built.
Right.
And I'm not sure who wants to volunteer to pay more taxes to get the roads fixed. So that's where the dilemma literally comes from the top down.
I've said that. I got it. I've said this before, and I've heard that reasoning before. But then what I see actually in practice is that down here in Carteret County, where you go over the Emerald Bridge, DOT plants fields of flowers twice a year, and I'm sure they do that in a lot of places across North Carolina. So we got flower money, but we don't have maintenance money.
flower
That
power.
kind of seems offset to me.
I agree. I agree, and I would not argue that that DOT is the best administered department in the state of North Carolina. There have been many issues with the administration at DOT, and I know our Senator Mike Lazzara and Phil Shepard, who are on the transportation
Yes.
committees for the House and the Senate, have both tried to regulate some of the things that DOT does, but it's
Yeah,
it's a
I
difficult
like-
situation.
Now, if you want to reach out to your in Carteret County, your representatives who've been elected to the North Carolina House, those folks and the senator, those folks are, they do have contact with DOT and they control DOT's budget.
Just real quick, off subject DOT, we just got a notice from the sheriff's department that deputies have located the 16-year-old Caitlin Conway and 15-year-old Zachary Milborn.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that. They're not related. They're not
Yeah.
related, but they have been found. So.
Good.
So if we can get back to the
Yeah.
county loan program.
Yes. Steve, that answer your question?
Yes and no, but I appreciate your time.
It's the best non-answer you've heard today.
I would agree.
The day's young and early, so you might get another one that's even better.
I'm sorry, I just don't have a good
I
answer.
fully
so-
understand that.
Yeah.
I was going to say I fully understand. They may be priorities that are above this. But like I say, the flower money is the one that gets me.
Yeah.
Maintenance should always come before beautification.
All right.
But anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, buddy. Have a blessed day.
So one of the reasons I wanted to come here today was, of course, after again many years of trying to get this loan program going. This year we actually budgeted $2 million for this loan fund. Again, it's a loan, so we're going to take your tax money. We're going to fix some roads, hopefully. And then we're going to get that money back from the people who benefit from the repaired roads. And I think it's going to be a benefit to you as a Jacksonville taxpayer. That has nothing to do with the county orphan roads,
Right.
because it's going to help our property values. It's going to help our emergency service responses. And the people who borrow the money and get their roads fixed are going to hugely benefit in the property values and the access to their properties that they're going to have. The $2 million is not going to go very far.
No.
Unfortunately, it's not going to fix a lot of roads.
Right. No.
But
It's a start.
it is a start, and under the schedule that we've put out there, it's out on the internet. November 1st is the deadline for submitting orphan roads to the county.
Y'all got about 35 days.
Right. So what needs to happen is somebody in the community who cares enough about their streets to submit their street to the county needs to contact our planning department. And the name is online. His name is Joseph Bauer. He's our senior planner at Onslow County, and submit their road and their contact information to the county.
Okay, an individual can do that, correct?
Any individual can do that.
They don't have to
Correct.
get the list of names of 75% of the people, right?
They do not.
That's what you will do.
Well, we're not going to do it,
Okay.
but we're going to help the property owners do it.
Okay.
So let's see. They submit the streets. By January 31st, we're going to present petitions. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. They're going to November the 1st is the streets, and then we're going to evaluate those streets and see which ones are qualified for the program. And then the ones that are qualified, we're going to again go out and get some estimates, and then we're going to give a petition to the contact person that we have for that neighborhood.
Mhm.
And that contact person is going to be responsible for going out and getting 75%
Okay.
of their neighbors to sign the petition. The petitions will be due back by January the 31st of 26 next year. So by the end of January,
Y'all
We're
need to
gonna-
hurry.
we're gonna. That's right. It's a pretty tight timeline.
But if
But-
you're living in a subdivision or and perhaps you live in an area that the developer is no longer in existence, is not maintaining the roads that are there, it's not state maintained, you're on your own, you may want to get together. Can you submit a whole neighborhood, or is it just an individual street? Because it has to be connected to a state highway. So I don't know how many roads in the neighborhood connect to that state highway, but one at a time. If you get one of them approved and that's done, then you can start working on the others too, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would certainly. If you submit a street that's not qualified because it's not connected to a state road, then it's going to get rejected.
Right.
So, if you're in a neighborhood that has a lot of streets that need to be fixed,
Pick
my
the one that connects the
recommendation.
road
That's right.
to the highway.
Pick the connecting
Okay.
roads.
Right.
So that you can get to the state maintained road. But we hope that by February we're going to have these petitions prioritized, because again, it's only $2 million.
Yeah.
We're going to try to find some projects that we can actually do with $2 million. And then, we want to get bids out in April. We want to get construction contracts by May and get roads started by June.
Oh, that'd be good.
Okay.
Awesome.
So that would fall.
It's great.
I'm sorry, Royce. So that would fall into this fiscal year
That is
budget.
in this fiscal year, right? So, my thought is, and my hope is, and I'm one of 7, but if we can show through this program that we can make this happen, that we can do it, then hopefully we can budget more money next year. The $2 million that we have this year that's probably not going to get spent before the end of the budget year can roll over to next year, and maybe next year we can have $4 million available. But we got to prove this program viable. We got to make sure we can do it. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping by the end of this fiscal year, we'll have some projects that are at least, if not completed, seriously in the works. And
Great.
and we can show that we can do this, and then we can get it done. The good thing about the orphan roads, guys, is this is a finite problem. There are a lot of them out there, a whole lot of them out there, but there aren't any new ones. We don't let them do it anymore.
That's
Okay.
good. Right.
And we, again, the county didn't have zoning until 25 years ago. We did not have a zoning ordinance. You could go out there and build anything you wanted. It was not up to the county. The citizens didn't want us to tell them what to do with their property, and the county didn't tell them what to do with their property. They went out and built subdivisions, then they died or went to prison. Some of them moved away. They went bankrupt. They didn't do what they should have done, and that's where we got into this mess. But that doesn't happen anymore. We make them pay. We make them put up bonds. We make them get the roads turned over to DOT or put a homeowners association in place to maintain roads, so that we know that in the future going forward, there are not going to be more orphan roads. So
I think it's a great program, and I don't mind. I live in the city, but I also pay county taxes. I don't mind some of my taxes going to this because of the fact I use the county's amenities. I mean, I go to the parks. You offer so many programs for all of us, regardless of whether we live in the city or the county.
Oh, we all pay
And
taxes though.
I ride, right, and I ride the county roads, and so I
Not
don't
county
mind a
roads.
bit.
No.
roads in the
I'm sorry,
county.
Roads in the county is what I meant.
I'm sorry.
Because the county does not own roads.
Yeah.
I want to say that every time somebody gets up at one of
Well,
your meetings.
but-
I'm watching going like, they don't own roads. But,
I would direct people to onslocountyNC.gov, our website.
I've got it all on
Yep.
here.
Okay, so you got it on yours.
I've got everything from Jumbo to planning and development and the county website and your personal phone number. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay too. It's out there.
Yes.
All you got to do is search on the website
Yeah,
for
it's there.
Orphan Road Loan
Yes,
Program.
I've got it.
and
Information on
Have
that
it all.
too. And
Have you had any interest, people coming to you yet? Just, I mean, the talk
Well-
has been going on.
well, we had a meeting September the 16th, and we
Uh-huh.
had 50 people show up at least.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great meeting. That's online too, if you want to see it.
Cool.
They talk about all the details of the program with our county administration. That was a really good meeting, and
if I could post that.
I don't know how many. Well, I know that some people submitted roads that night because we had the
Really?
forms available September the
Very
16th.
good.
So I know that there were some roads submitted already, and again, you got another month to get any more that you know of, and don't get discouraged if your road isn't one of them this
Yeah.
year, but it's
Yeah,
it's
plan-
going to be a long
Plan
process.
for the future. Get your name in there, get your road in there, and,
That's right.
and if it doesn't make it this
I
year,
agree,
resubmit it. Just keep the same plan. And if there's something that might need tweaking on it that you might think that might help a little bit more, add it to it. The next go round.
There you go.
I like the fact that the county could do a budget like this and put money aside for projects like this. That says a lot about our spending, that we're not being frivolous, and but yet we're providing the needs of the community. So thank you for that.
I've always said that probably the most important job of the county commissioners is to plan and prepare us for the future. Now we have a 10-year capital projection needs for the school system. We're planning schools out for the next 10 years. We know there are some schools that are overcrowded. We're working on building new schools. We're building a new elementary school every 2 years. We got a new middle school planned within the next 5 years and a new high school within the next 10 years. We're planning. I'm in a working group right now with the community college. We're working on a capital plan for the community college for the next 10 years. What are the needs of the community college, and how are we going to fund these needs over the next 10 years? We do that so that we can put away a little bit of money every year. And we don't all of a sudden have to come up and say, okay, how can we afford a $40 million building? If we put away a couple $1 million every year, then we know how we can fund a $40 million building in 5 years or however long we need to.
Well, Royce, while you're talking about the community college, could you explain to the listeners exactly what role the county and or the city has in the college? I mean, is it considered our college, or do we fund it all?
That's a good question. The community college funding is very much like the school funding. The county commissioners are responsible for capital building and maintenance of the community college schools.
Mhm.
So yeah, the teachers, the administrators, most of the employees are paid
State.
by the state,
Mhm.
but the county has and the community college gets a lot of grant money from the state. The veteran center that they're building now is mostly grant money from the state. So they get a lot of grant money for capital improvements, more than the school system actually. But yeah, the county has really, over the last many years, been provided very little funding to the community college, and I'm hoping to see a change in that. I'm hoping that we can. We're in a position now where we can maybe help grow the community college some more, because there are a lot of needs at the community college. One being the trade center down in Holly Ridge,
Right,
has been
right,
talked
yes.
about.
Big time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the community college grow and expand, especially the trades. They need a trades building not only in Holly Ridge but here in
Yes.
Jacksonville.
Oh, I agree.
So
I agree.
I don't know. I'm hoping that through this capital funding project, we can figure out how over the next few years we can help fund some new building, some renovations, some things that the schools, community college really needs.
Well, Royce, you can remember back about 10 years ago, the big, I wouldn't say fight, but the big controversy between the commissioners and the Board of Education over the schools and the funding formula and all that. Look how far we've come.
Oh yeah, that funding formula has been it's been a great for both the county and the school system.
We've come very far. The
The-
relationship between the two.
Yeah,
So
we
good.
don't have to fight over funding anymore.
What was
which
tough about that
which
is that the
good.
school system, their budgets came due kind of like yours at the same time. And
Sure.
when they're planning and working on their budget, and they can't count on what the kind of money they're going to get from the county until the county approves its budget. And by the time the county approves its budget at the 11th hour,
Right.
which is the way it generally works,
Right.
within less than a month anyway. It's hard to start planning at that point in time in preparing a budget that you've already had to submit to the county, because what you want, that was a no-win situation.
It was,
For both
and
sides.
it caused a lot of tension between
Yeah.
the two boards.
Can remember.
And we're both boards are elected by the people. We need to
Yep.
serve the people of Onslow County, and they have their responsibilities and we have ours, and we want to have a great school system, great community college. That's economic development, and people don't want to come here if we got lousy schools.
You know where the community college started? Got its start here in Onslow County? At the old prison unit. It was Onslow Technical Institute, OTI. Seriously.
Before
Yeah.
our time.
No, it was actually during your time. And then after that, they started the community college, and
Right.
Leroy Henderson, who was my
Yes.
8th grade shop teacher.
Yeah, look
Mr.
how far it's
Henderson.
come.
I know who he is.
Mr. Henderson then. He was not Dr. Henderson at that time. So it was, that's how we have grown in this community. That is a college campus now, the size of the University of what is now the University of North Carolina at Wilmington was in 1965.
Yeah, we have a great community college, one of the best.
Well, I just want to throw this out of here real quick because I know Royce has got to leave. He's got another appointment.
Oh, that doesn't
But
matter.
Royce, anything special you want to announce today or talk about real quick before you leave?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're getting ready to leave town, right?
Go ahead. No.
Yeah, I set up my campaign committee. again a month or so ago,
You're
and
going to be
so
one
I'm
of them
ready
there
to
politicians looking for
ready to
votes. Right?
say I'm going to be looking for votes again. Yeah,
He's going to run for re-election.
Going to run for re-election.
And that's year
another
2026.
time around. That is next year, right?
That's right.
You know what's bad about that, or what's challenging, I guess, is we're in the middle of this municipal election that's just barely going to be over November the 4th after, and then December the 5th or something like that
You're going to
is
start signing up for.
is when we have to file for election, and then in March is the primary. So
it's not that far away, y'all.
So
and nobody wants to hear about politics at Christmas time. I hate trying to talk about politics at Christmas. I don't want to do that. And then New Year's rolls around, and who really wants to talk about politics in New Year's? Yeah, but you got to do it, because then it's February, March. It's time.
Yeah.
Man.
So there'll be 3 seats on the county commissioners that are open for re-election.
That's
or,
right.
election. So you've got issue, Lisa Carpenter, and who was the other one?
And Tim Foster.
Tim Foster.
Yep.
Okay.
And,
Those 3 seats will be up. So
yep. Those 3
So
seats.
y'all
will be
need
up.
to get your planning. If for those of you live in Onslow County, you need to start thinking about it. And if you have a desire that you think you can do better than any one of these individuals, go for it.
That's right. That's right. No, we'll do what the people
God have mercy
what
on
the
your
people
soul.
want. I love serving. It's been a real it's been a journey, actually, for me. I was elected. I took office in December 2016.
I remember.
It
was your first term.
18 months later, we had Hurricane Florence.
Mhm.
2 years after that, we had hurricane pandemic.
Yep.
I feel like I've spent,
Like that.
8 of my last 9 years trying to recover from one disaster after the other. And I think we did a pretty good job recovering.
We're still here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
congratulations,
So,
and thank you for that.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. This year's been the first time. This has literally been the first budget that I felt like we were out of the disasters and into a place where we can actually make a little bit of progress on things that we really have needed to do for years.
Mhm.
I'm talking about EMS. I'm talking about fire service. I'm talking about community college funding. I'm talking about things that we. I'm talking about employee salaries.
The nuts and bolts of daily operations.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Things that we just have not been able to put enough focus on because we've been struggling to stay afloat.
Hard to
So-
drain the swamp when the alligators are at your butt.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, to the campaign. As much work as it is, I love to get out and talk to people, and I love to answer questions.
Well, we like you being
So-
open to. And what a lot of folks don't understand is Royce is wearing a hat. I mean, he's the chairman of the board of the board of directors for UNWASA. We've heard about that recently. He's got this orphan road project kind of under his watch. He's heading up this. There are so many different things that each one of the commissioners are, I don't want to call it assigned to do. Sometimes they select what you like to do and
Yes.
little projects that you're involved in. But everybody does more than just sitting at a county commission meeting every 2 weeks.
Oh, well, let's not
Boy,
forget
that is true.
the new name is Joe.
Oh, John's Low.
Slow.
John's Low.
John's Low.
John's Low.
John's Low Eats.
John's Low Eats.
Yeah, can't forget that one.
Yeah. We're gonna have fun. That'll be next year. That'll be after the primary. So I'll either still. I'll
Either
either.
you won't care or you move on.
That's right. I'll either still be campaigning or I'll be done with it.
And just eating.
Yeah, you know what? As much as I love serving the people as a commissioner, I've been serving this county for 30 years in one capacity or another, and I got other things I can do. So if the folks want to find
You can get your golf club and go beat
Yep.
him.
yeah, I never have been much of a golfer.
Yeah, me either. It's nothing I have to chase.
But hey, I appreciate you guys having me. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Royce.
the opportunity to talk about
Yeah.
orphan roads.
Good information.
It's kind of to me, having to cover county commissions as a reporter over the past years, decades ago. This kind of a unique program for a county.
Well, I think it is. There are other counties that have done some kind of road program projects, and if
But they got to be careful.
yeah,
They can't
and
violate
if
state law.
if we get to the point where we want to, let me put it this way. If we get to the point that we want to spend taxpayer dollars on roads, if you look at the city of Jacksonville gets DOT road projects because they provide matching funds to road projects. It's something that I haven't talked about because we've never even considered this as a county. But if we were to offer DOT matching funds for some projects, we might be able to get them moved up on the timetable. I'm not sure.
Is that called bribery or anything?
Yeah,
Close to it, right?
pretty close.
Okay, just checking.
It's public bribery. I mean, it's like
not illegal.
It's pretty obvious. I don't think that the county's we're not in a position to do that at this point, and I don't know that the citizens would want us to do that
Not
at
yet.
this point.
Right.
But there may become time in the future when that becomes a viable option for helping some of our road projects. Just something that I keep in the back of my head. I probably shouldn't let it come out my mouth.
Probably
But-
sometimes that might, because I'm just thinking that you don't want
I
to
do
let
it every
DOT
morning.
know this is something you're thinking, because they might just hold out and wait for it.
Well, and no, I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, it's a different concept. I think some of the bigger counties actually get some of their road projects bumped
Probably.
up.
Do
by
we
providing
have,
some matching.
speaking of the DOT, do we have an Oslo County person sitting on the Department of Transportation boards at all? I mean, we've had them in the past. I think we had Louis Sewell on there, right?
There's somebody from Wilmington. I can't remember
Yeah,
who it is.
we've had folks
Yeah.
from out of Wilmington there.
Yeah, there's nobody from
Nobody from
Jacksonville.
this district.
We need
I
to
mean, in
change
this
that.
district
All,
from Jacksonville. That
What's
sucks. We need one.
the car guy, Alford?
Mike.
Alford,
Alford.
yeah, was
Yeah.
the last person we had on the DOT board from here that I know of. Yeah,
Maybe we need to start a petition to get one on
We
there.
need to get some
well, that is a governor
Yeah.
appointment, I do believe.
Maybe we need a
and,
new
we-
governor.
that-
I'm
if
just gonna call the governor
Well,
today.
we had a new governor, we might have a chance at that. But
And
as
see.
as long as the governor has no chance of winning votes in Onzo County, just to get political about it.
There you go. Bottom line.
It is.
All right, Royce.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thanks
Thanks,
for your
Royce.
time.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
Holler at you later.
Have a blessed day.
Let me look at tropics a little bit now.
Yeah. Lee, get back over here.
Yes.
Das Good, Das Bad. So, formerly known as Disturbance 1, is now Tropical Storm Humberto. Winds overnight kicked up to 40 miles per hour, and it's expected to become a hurricane on Saturday. Hurricane Humberto coming our way, coming to a place that you like. Currently on a west-northwesterly course, forecasters say a ridge that's forming coming off the mainland could turn the storm more northward. Now, why is that important? Make it less likely to impact North Carolina. Things are happening fast, and now is definitely the time you should take a serious look at your hurricane plan if you have one. If you don't have one, you may want to, just reach out and to the National Weather Service or National Hurricane Center. They got some basic plans out there available. You can modify them to fit your needs. If you've got a plan already in place, maybe you don't have the same number of members of your family. Maybe you've got more, maybe you've got less. Some may have moved on because the number of people you have in your house depends, will make you decide on how much water you need when the time comes, if the time comes, because you need a certain amount of water per person per day. Okay, little things like that to help you out. There's also disturbance number 2 out there. It's passing the Dominican Republic on its way towards the Bahamas, where it will likely become better organized, gaining enough strength to be labeled a tropical depression later today, maybe by tomorrow. What happens then will depend on a bunch of things, and most of those things are back over our mainland right now, and whatever will be happening further east. Both of these active systems should be watched very carefully over the coming days. This could be a 1-2 punch. It could be a 0-0. I just don't know yet. There's nothing definitive in either one of these at this point in time. Gabrielle, still a blasted hurricane moving towards Portugal, toward the Azores. It'll be there by Saturday, I think it is. As a possible hurricane, definitely a tropical storm. That's an unusual situation.
That one is, yeah.
There are still waves that are generated that are not really making it to shore here, but they are generated and they are further offshore that originated from Hurricane Gabrielle. Because remember, right after it passed by Bermuda, which is offshore ways, 700-800 miles from here, it had 140 mile per hour sustained winds there for a while. So it was generating huge waves, and they just kept on coming and coming and coming. We're not really having major impact from the waves, but we do have rip currents there is a threat of rip currents continuing. I know it's past the summer season, and there are no lifeguards anywhere in North Carolina except maybe at some country club swimming pools. That's about it.
Yeah.
And they're not affected by rip currents. None of those are, we hope. But if you're going to get into the water, if you insist on it, have friends with you and go look for a place where the surfers are surfing. Don't swim out there alone. You may just die alone, to be honest with you. And that's just and then sooner or later your body will wash up or not. Things happen.
Yeah.
I hate to be cruel and crude, but that's just the way it is.
That's facts.
OJ, what else we got going on?
Well, I'm sorry, Chris. I just want to let you, Chris Mills should be calling in a few minutes. So.
We're waiting for him.
Yeah.
Do I need to chastise him about the photograph that he sent you?
No,
I took his
got
picture.
it.
He took mine.
I'll send it to you. It was a good picture. I like it because it's way far away. It's not I don't do close-ups. No.
What you missed when you were talking to Steve about the naked cowboy?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
I saw him.
You didn't see the reaction of
I was like, what channel is that?
tight ends and
What channel is
cowboys.
that?
Yeah,
I missed it.
The guy's out there in his boots, his hat, and his briefs. Literally, that's all. And a guitar. And he stands there in the middle of the road, and cars stop, and they give him money. The ladies will put money in his boots.
Yeah.
I overheard him when I was there because I got out there pretty close to him, so I could get some photographs. And so one young lady said, "Can I put my money in your briefs?" "No, ma'am, no room. Put it in a boot."
What channel was it?
But he was a fixture. Al Roker drove by when he was in New York doing the morning weather on the Today Show, and way back when, back in I guess in the 90s, stopped, and they had a live camera going with them in the car that he was in, and he just rode around town with them, talked to him about it. That was in his beginning days.
I want to mention, for those who didn't get a chance to see it yesterday, Sergeant Major Mayfield donated $1,000 to REITs, followed by Mrs. Mayfield donated $1,000. Last night, I got a phone call from a gentleman that belongs to the Knights of Columbus, and he has donated $1,700.
Wow.
Wow.
You're getting there.
So
You're getting there, boss.
well,
You're
we're getting there. We're getting there. It has nothing to do with Chris. It has
Has
to
a bunch to do with Chris and
Reach
Mrs.
Across-
Chris.
Reach Across America and Reach Honor our fallen veterans. And I'm happy to say that we're getting closer to possibly getting as close as we can to the 8,500 total wreaths needed.
Excellent.
We've heard of the Marks brothers. This is the Marks couple. Kathy and Chris. You guys
Okay.
are
Kathy, yeah. I
you
know.
guys are really pushing this, and it's great. As we do
There is
appreciate
Well,
that.
we're a family here, and the family's doing it. So
There's our sports
Well,
guy.
we don't, there are other families that every time somebody says a family, I cringe a little bit till I figure out which family they're talking about. You know what I mean?
that's your intro, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Lee, I'm glad you got that photo of you and Rayford misbehaving at the football game the other night.
I showed it to him.
I was taking your picture. You were taking my picture.
Yes.
So we took a picture exchange.
I may have to. I've got a new nickname for Chris.
What's that?
Guns.
Guns.
I was noticing, yeah, on Down East Report yesterday.
Down East Prep Report.
Down East Prep Report.
That's
excuse me. Chris got some guns on him.
Woo.
No,
Okay,
I think they say the camera adds a few pounds. And
Okay.
the camera also adds a few muscles. Those are that close-up video camera is just it makes me look better than what I but I appreciate it, and and Mr. Marks, I have a bone to pick with you. I'm sorry that you've been kind of picking on me about my long shorts that I like wearing. As a matter of fact, my wife thinks they look very nice on me. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry I can't pull off the Daisy Duke look like you can, my friend.
My sincere apology, my friend. I will never say
I
another
used to hear a lot of this at the post office with the guys explaining why they wore the longer shorts. So I'm not going to go there.
No.
Yeah.
Chris is. I will always love Chris.
But it's I don't know what you guys are gonna do Friday night. There's no Jacksonville football on Friday.
There's hardly any county football, right? Only.
Yeah, there's 4 games that involve in area schools, and hopefully, knock on wood, it will be a little bit of an easier night. Given I'm just gonna be at Northside, which is only a few minutes away from where I live. So that's hopefully that game goes by pretty quickly, and then I'll come home, get the work done, and then maybe have get down a little bit earlier than I usually do.
Yeah, it's one traffic light away from here if you do it right. All you got to do is come out of your place, turn on Country Club, take Country Club out to Commerce, take Commerce down to Workshop, and take Workshop, and that's your traffic light at Workshop and not Workshop, but there where the vape shop is. Is that Workshop? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Workshop.
it's
Yeah.
Workshop. Workshop
it is.
and the Marine Boulevard. Cross over, that's your one light before you get there.
Yep. And Rayford, how do you seem to know where that vape shop is pretty good.
Let me tell you what, it's real easy because when I'm going in that direction, the lights light up. The lights lead me the way.
Yes. They're well lit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, just my
always
personal
alone.
opinion, I still don't understand why they created that Commerce Road to split that neighborhood up. And there was a well-known realtor that lived in that area for many years, and it was a beautiful house, and they destroyed that. And I'm sure it's they're still doing well now, but I still don't understand why they created Commerce Road to break up Country Club Drive like that. That just kind of still befuddles me.
Yeah.
Well,
So, Northside is playing Richlands tomorrow. You think Richlands got a chance?
I think Northside. I think your Northside Monarchs, Mr. Marks. I think they're going to be pretty strong. They're having a strong season so far. All they lost was to Jacksonville a few weeks ago, and they seem to be doing pretty well. So I think they'll take care of business pretty good.
Okay, and then so who's the other team? I know Liberty. Let's see, Liberty Christian. Did they have a game?
Yeah, Liberty Christian academy over in Ridgelands. They've had an 8-man team for this is their third season. They've continued to get better and better, and they've actually won a couple games in a row. So they seem to. It's pretty fun to see kind of that program start from scratch and get better, and then they're really proud to have a football team in such a small school. So I think that community really embraces it. So I mean, it's wonders what a high school football program can do to a school community, and I think they're proof what just how much excitement can be added to a school community by having football.
I got questions.
Well, I'm going to answer them for you. I already think I know your question.
Well, my question deals with the math. 8-man team. Did I hear that?
Yep, 8-man. Yeah, somebody 8-man team. For some of your smaller schools that just don't have enough numbers, they'll have 8-man. 8-man is a sanctioned sport, and in some states you even have 6-man football. So it's some of the rules are a little bit different, but not too much. Nothing out of the ordinary, and but they play 8-man football, and Reno Parrott over in the Kinston area, they've had a pretty strong 8-man team for the last many years, and so it's a lot of your private schools and small schools will have an 8-man team. So those kids have an opportunity, but they don't have to. But they just don't have the numbers to field an 11-man team.
Obviously, every one of them will have to play both offense and defense, right?
For the most part, yeah. But again, that's just when you have a small school. I mean, you're bound to do that anyway. But somebody like Liberty, a lot of those kids will play both ways, and they're having fun. They're getting those opportunities, and like I said, I know that community is really proud of all the hard work the coaches and players have been doing.
Yes,
do they ever go up against teams with the typical 11-man team?
They won't. They won't for the. They probably won't do that for many years. But there's somebody like a Reno Parrott, who is a very big private school in Kinston. They have played 11-man games against other, other public schools in recent years. They've won some, they lost some. They'll play some of your 11-man teams that may not be as strong. They certainly wouldn't play somebody like Jacksonville or somebody like that. But Reno Parrott will play somebody, other small schools and play the 11-man game. So it's
wow.
I don't see Liberty Christian doing that anytime soon, since they're still trying to take their positive steps. But maybe down the road, maybe they can do that down the road.
Chris, someone like Bear Grass Charter.
Mm-hmm.
That was an 11. I mean, that was a normal. I don't want to say normal football team, but that was a 11-man offense defense that played Lejeune last week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, 11-man team. Bear Grass Charter is a school in Martin County, and a small community, but they've been around for many years, and so they have an 11-man team, and they seem to be pretty decent this year.
Well, I want to say congratulations again on your award from the state for your article. It's just soccer.
Yes, great to see that.
Yes.
No, I appreciate that. It's you wrote an article, feature story last year on a young man, white soccer player born with no arms, and sat down with him and his mother and some of the teammates and coaches, and those are stories that people like to read, and the human interest stories, the stories about outside the box, people or coaches or players battling through adversity, or just something like I said, outside the box, a cool interest story or whatever. So people really enjoy reading those type of outside the box stories for sure.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for the photograph. I will get a better look at it when it gets sent to me, and I can stick it under in Photoshop and see what it looks like.
No more.
Yeah, and then we'll you should blow it up and put it on the back screen of the ship.
There you go.
And you have my word. No more jokes about your dress.
I don't want my wife coming up and kicking your rear.
No, I don't want that either. No.
I want, if she does, I want pictures.
All right, y'all be safe. And,
Thank you too, Chris.
If y'all want to come out to Northside on Friday, by all means.
All right. What I'll see what about
Another
event.
I'm gonna tell you what, I enjoyed that visit to Northside
Oh, I did
when we
too.
went. That
Yeah,
was
great
very
popcorn.
nice school.
I didn't have to bring on pop.
Yeah.
Very nice grounds out there.
Yeah,
It was
good
really
popcorn.
nice. Oh, we may take you up on that,
I
Chris.
spent 10 years there.
Yeah.
Not in school. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
Yes. Oh, Chris. Gee, I'm gonna text you something in a little bit. I just thought
Oh,
of something
Lord.
I want to ask you. Okay, I'll text it to you.
And Ray said you were talking about I think it was the Drudge report you were talking about earlier in the show.
Which report?
The Drudge report. I think you were talking about the leaks and things like that. So I think that's I don't know if you could remember the website or something like that you were talking about, but I think it was the Drudge report that was kind of reporting on that Bill Clinton scandal stuff.
Yeah.
many years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I hope y'all have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you guys next week.
You got it, Chris.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Have a blessed day.
Chris Miller, Jacksonville's Daily News sports reporter, sports editor extraordinaire.
Extraordinary. Do you remember I sent you an email
No.
about a week ago? Well, I send you emails all the time about an individual that has a podcast that's Eastern North Carolina here. And I'm on his email list. He wanted to come on the show, but I didn't think anyway. No. So anyway, he sends out emails, and he's kind of into the conspiracy theory stuff. And he sent an email out last week, and it was so ridiculous. You saw what was on it. It was a stupid conspiracy theory about the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Right.
And about got the deep state all involved in this, and and like, okay, whatever. He just sent me another one out. I thought I had blocked him, but evidently I didn't do a good job. He just sent out another one that says leaked files reveal Charlie Kirk's wife Erica is a child trafficking Mossad agent.
Really?
I've heard that.
Yeah, and so anyway, this is from this rag called the People's Voice.
Oh.
And, evidently this gentleman reads the People's Voice and thinks, hey, let me send that out to everybody. Let me talk about it on my podcast. Well, good luck. But, I just sent him a email back. Garbage.
Out to 20 nautical miles today. The marine forecast calling for winds out of the south, 10 to 15 knot seas, 2 to 4 feet. 10 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop tomorrow. Southwesterly winds about 10 knot seas, 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop tomorrow. Saturday's winds out of the south, 5 to 10 knot seas, 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop. That does not talk about at all, particularly in the northern part of North Carolina, the beaches, the Outer Banks area up there, the possibility, the likelihood of rip current. So if you're going to be out in that direction, you want to get into the water, you are forewarned.
Yes, you are. Today we have a slight chance of an afternoon shower. Excuse me. Mostly sunny with a high near 89. South wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 16. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 71. Friday, an increased chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 89. And Saturday, showers likely with thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 84.
2 young hunters, one from North Carolina, the other from Utah, killed on an elk hunting trip earlier this month. They were reported missing a week ago. Their bodies were found slumped under a tree in Colorado just a few days ago. Each had a couple of small burns on their bodies. The investigation showed neither was shot. It was determined that they had apparently been struck by high voltage, electrocuted from lightning that apparently struck nearby, likely the tree they were standing under, seeking refuge under, and then it jumped over to the young men. A coroner said it was an instant death. That would be a lightning bolt. The victims, both 25, Andrew Porter of Asheville and Ian Stosko of Salt Lake City. Folks, if there is lightning in the area, even if there's not a cloud in the sky, but you see clouds at the distant on the horizon, lightning can come from it doesn't have to come from a cloud. It can come from a really heavily charged clear sky and right overhead. If the air is so charged, it can come out of nowhere, literally.
Mhm.
It's going to go to the highest point generally. That will be a tree, that will be a building, that will be your boat if you're on the high seas, because there is nothing higher than your boat for miles around if you're the only boat out there. Your boat is going to be the lightning rod. There were several cases in the last couple of years and one right around here where lightning struck the boat. Okay. So lightning is not a game. It's fun to take pictures of it, but do it from inside somewhere. Don't stand out in it and do it. And keep in mind a tripod that you may be using your camera on to get long exposures for you photogs. That's made of metal generally, and you know what that is. Metal is another lightning rod.
Yeah, it's a lightning rod.
Okay, there are little situations there that y'all need to be very, very careful about. I watched yesterday. I watch a lot of YouTube and the little mini documentaries and stories about World War II or about Vietnam or about drugs or about drug interdictions, about the stuff that we're doing now. We're not taking any prisoners when they don't stop the boats coming out of Venezuela. Right. We've declared them to be a bad place, loaded with cartel. And if they don't stop, we blow them up. That's okay. But I saw this story yesterday, and which piques my interest. Marines. First, it was Marines in World War II in the South Pacific fighting the Japanese. The Japanese trained extensively with bayonets, more so than they did with their guns.
Yeah.
They were charged in masses. They would charge, overwhelm a line, and of course, a lot of them would be killed. But by the time that some of them were still left and would manage to get up to the enemy was out of ammo.
Right.
Or we're in the process of reloading their enemy. That would be us. So the Marine Corps and a number of other people, they decided to, back in the early 40s, right after the beginning of World War II, decided to order a bunch of Model 97 Winchester shotguns. We got some Model 97s and some Model 12s. They were civilian guns. They were used for bird hunting, duck hunting primarily, way back when. But they issued them by the tens of thousands to our Marines fighting in the South Pacific. They were called Thunder Sticks or Thunder whatevers by the Japanese the first time they encountered our troops.
Mm-hmm.
They did not win. They did not overrun the thing. Here's what the problem that with all the story is great. I can follow the storyline because I know it works. But those of you who do not understand what these guys are talking about, the AI, the artificial, the fake intelligence people that write this stuff, this was a totally produced AI piece. The voice was monotone. So many claims have been made. Really, it was like, good golly. Y'all may or may not be very familiar with weaponry. You may not. When I hear the Marines were issued Model 97 Winchester shotguns, the rounds they were carrying were 12-gauge shot shells loaded with 900 33-inch pellets. I want you to cram 9 33-inch pellets into a 12-gauge shotgun shell. First, what it was written that way somewhere, and an artificial fake voice read it accordingly. 00 meant double aught.
Right.
Is what it meant to say. But that's not the way it came out. 00 33-inch pellets, 9 of them. it should have been double-aught 33 caliber pellets. No, the 33 caliber is 0.33 inches, a third of an inch. And actually, that was a little bit large, but that's the way they translate. That's the way artificial intelligence is working. If our teaching system is ever going to be using artificial intelligence to teach our students, our kids of today, we're going to have robots, living, breathing robots in the future that were born as human beings. But that's what we're headed for, folks. Artificial intelligence education that we're getting. God help us.
My own personal belief, we're already
There.
there. I had a conversation.
This was not the only one of these shows that I have
Right.
seen recently. This one was just so egregious. Just that one little short
you.
sentence.
Thank you.
The reason I'm saying that we're already there, and I mentioned this to someone in a call center that was a supervisor, and you couldn't, I was challenging something, but the people that made the decision, you can't talk to.
Nope.
They are behind walls. They have no
Yep.
phones. They have nothing. So you don't even know if who you're talking to on the phone is telling you that there's really a person behind a wall that's making a decision affecting you. And our children in school right now, my understanding, use laptops, computers. There's hardly any books anymore.
When you click on, if I can find out,
You know,
when I click on Google today, let's just click on Google.
Okay.
Right down here, it says AI mode.
Right.
Right.
Have you seen this?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And you've got
everything you do comes back artificial intelligence, and none of it, the crap that they send me, makes generic, beige, no sense whatsoever.
And then it tells you to dive deeper into AI.
right.
Scary.
It is. And for our listeners, 910-333-0139, give us your opinion of AI. And if you've had any interactions with companies, groups, that you're actually wondering if you're talking to a person.
You're not.
I mean, my comment to that person was this: the ability of humanity, i.e., being able to interact with humans, is gone, and it's going further and further away.
Yeah, it has been over the
They're
years.
programming their phone systems now on the when you call in, or when I get a call, but when I call in and I ask for some help here or there, and then I get a while. I said I need to talk to somebody further up the food chain. Ask for a supervisor, and then I'll ask for an air breathing individual.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will finally ask, when they say, I am that person, I said, do you sign your check on the front or the back? I want the guy that signs his check on the front, my check on the front. When he does that, then he's the boss.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want it if it's an employee who signs his check on the back. I mean, sometimes I have to get down that blunt.
It's not unheard of, because it happened with media companies. You'll never get past an administrative assistant. You will never talk to a CEO.
Nope.
Just like if you call the White House, you'll never get past the receptionist or the operator. I think is live and real. There's shields to protect them.
Yep.
These people that make $50 million a year.
Protect or interfere.
I think it's interfere.
There you go.
I mean,
people run interference in football games, right? That's what
Yeah.
you do.
the yellow flag.
You run interference. You just try to keep the other people from you let them think you got the ball. You're running interference. You've got all sorts of diversions that people use throughout life in competition. Why is it that way when you're trying to reach somebody that you're paying money to?
Well, why did we quit reading and buying and storing and stocking and reading encyclopedias and go to the internet for information?
Because
Changes.
internet was faster.
The world is changing
More
fast.
current.
So makes me wonder, and I have 5 grandchildren, 3 that are in 3 in school. I'm wondering how many of our youth today can actually, 1, do cursive writing,
No.
2,
Any.
Right.
2 can actually look at a watch that's not.
Or pick up a landline, pick up a
They
telephone.
wouldn't know.
or
They wouldn't know what a landline is.
or walk into a grocery store and say, "Oh, this is 10% off," and just know instantly in their head what that means without taking out a piece of paper and doing a sheet long, math problem over 10%.
For you folks who want to know what 10% off is, you got to go through multiple things. Unless you say 10% off is 90% of whatever it is. So multiply that product's $10 by 0.9.
All you have to do is move the decimal over. If it's $10, move the decimal over $2, 2 spaces, and it's $1. 10% of 10 is 1.
But then you have to subtract it from 10.
No, you don't. I'm just saying to get the percentage of it off.
Yeah.
I didn't say what the final price was.
Or you
But,
multiply
yeah.
by 0.9.
No, why you do it so hard? Just move the decimal and then subtract it, and you got it. I know Homer Springs is listening. He's like, "What? I thought I taught her about her." Big news coming out of D.C. yesterday. I can't believe you've not
Everybody
even
quit?
mentioned
Everybody
it.
quit?
I know the vice president was in Carrabas County.
No, talking about the possibility of some new indictments.
Oh yes, Mr. Comey.
Former FBI Director James Comey. He said he may be indicted in the coming days right here in Eastern District of Virginia.
I may be indicted too. You may be indicted.
Yeah.
So let me know when it happens.
But sources believe that at least one of the elements of the indictment is, if it goes forward, will accuse him of lying to Congress during his testimony on September 30th, 2020, about whether he authorized a leak of information.
When have you seen an indictment coming out of Congress?
Well,
Going anywhere?
let me tell you, there's a 5-year statute of limitations on this. It expires September 30th. So if they're going to do it, they're going to do it before September 30th.
And when did you ever see one come out of Congress that went anywhere?
Don't know what to tell you.
Well, I would like to
There'll
say,
be committee meetings forever, huh?
Yeah.
well,
Screaming.
in the ideal world, these, again, I'll just say the senators, the congressmen, and I think Congress is on a week-long break, is what I was told when I called up.
Yeah, they have been there for the last several weeks.
I don't know, maybe the Senate's working. I don't know who's up in D.C. working right now, but when Rayford, earlier in the show, you were talking about our elected officials and being able to have conversations with them.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few town halls, but what I find interesting is when politicians, other than maybe Dr. Murphy, will come to Onslow County. Those higher up, other than our senator from Jacksonville, most of the higher up, the DC people always go left or west of 95, and very seldom are they going to come east of 95 and hold a press conference or come here for some good news.
Nope. When was the last time you saw a governor here?
In Onslow County? Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell
Pat
you.
McCrory.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. I don't think Cooper would visit Carteret County a lot.
You wanted to go to the beach?
No, last one I remember coming to Onslow County was when Pat McCrory was governor, and he came several times. Yep, he sure did.
We got nice beaches. We've got a military installation here. It's not from a lack of security.
We got a peaceful county. There's no security really needed. It's quiet.
You said the Q word.
It is quiet. We got a nice group of people here who maintain
We have a
control.
good community.
We do, and it's not just because we got good cops. We just got good people living
Right.
here. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I
If you
would
got
say.
good people living in your community, you don't even have to worry about having a whole bunch of good cops.
I
They
would
just
say
there
for the
to
most
maintain.
part, we have a very good community, very
do.
safe community to live in.
We
There
do.
are things that do happen, but it doesn't mean there's a serial killer running around Onslow County as
Oh,
being posted.
Oh God.
I mean, and then with the shooting a couple weeks ago over on
Oh.
Rudy Court, because the sheriff's office didn't come out right away, and say, "Oh, we have a shooting." The people are claiming now that the sheriff's office is trying to hide, information. They don't want anybody to know about it, And it's just like we say, national stuff that hits the national news, like the shooting yesterday at the ICE facility.
Yep.
I mean, within a couple hours, they were doing press conferences. People have gotten so demanding that they need to know right then and there what's going on. And sometimes when you have someone like a county sheriff's office that's dealing with a tragedy, dealing with a murder or whatever, I mean, they need time to collect the information. And there's probably a good reason why they don't set up a microphone and say, "Hey, we just found a dead body," or whatever,
Well, it's not only that, but it's like yesterday. You had multiple people shot. You had this.
Yes.
You had that. You had more people
Mhm.
killed than that were shot. It's like, come on, people. You put out this stuff just because somebody may have overheard it on a scanner, and not that the police are giving bad information to each
Right.
other.
Mhm.
They're giving the information they have at that time. Because
Now, I will say, if something occurred and there was a danger to the public, yes, the sheriff's office always puts out that information
that's what they
as
should.
far as be on the lookout for,
Mhm.
or be careful, lock your doors, stay inside, whatever. Which I can't remember that even happening around here
It's been a while.
for a long, long time. But
Last one I remember is the guy that escaped when the deputy was transporting him over here to a medical place. And
yeah.
he jumped and
I
ran
remember
or
that.
something like that. And
Then we have the code red, and we're getting issues from the city and from the county now. But I just it's just such a new world that we live in. As soon as something happens, you got all these podcasters going live, and they're grabbing information and from sources like Chris and I. We watch a lot of it, at live videos and stuff, and the information that comes out in the beginning is nothing compared to what it ends up being. So
yeah, the guy that escaped from the deputy over here in transport, didn't have him checked out. I was on my way from Carteret County back home. Had a live remote up there or something. But pulled down to the end of the street here, and there was a deputy there. And I said, "You found him yet?" And he said, "No, we're still looking for him." I said, "You got a reward for him?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, I'm getting ready to go up there to my house. I'm going to go back in the backyard. If I find him, I'm going to lock him up. And when you get a good reward, I'll let you know." He laughed. Took my tag number. No doubt. I would have. But
oh my goodness.
This
But you drove away and he was like,
I don't know who he is, but he's crazy. Yeah.
"Hey, do you remember that Travis Decker in Washington State that killed his 3 daughters?"
Yep.
And then he disappeared.
No, he's found.
Well, the U.S. Marshals have declared him dead because they found bones in a remote area with personal items of his, and some of the clothing. They did DNA testing that came back to him. But now the county sheriff is saying, and the county coroner is saying, we cannot declare that he's dead because
They can't.
no DNA has been performed on the bones, and they're blaming the U.S. Marshals for jumping the gun. Now you got one of two things: either that is Travis Decker, or either he was smart enough to find somebody else's bones, throw down there, and throw his clothes on there, which the probability is low,
Very low.
very low. But what if?
Was the biggest word in the dictionary.
Boy, that would
if.
make a good Lifetime movie, wouldn't it? Well, hopefully they'll get some DNA back on the bones, and then the county and the coroner will, verify that it
Yeah.
was him, and we can put that to rest
Or they
because
have.
that was tragic.
I've already put that one to rest.
Tragic.
There's a story that came out the other day. Hadn't heard a lot about it beforehand. About Marijuana.
Uh-huh.
Marijuana.
Yeah. Oh.
So many claims we've heard over the years claiming that the use of marijuana products help with pain management and other issues, right? We hear that. So many claims have been made that promoted legislation all across this country to relax the enforcement of anti-pot laws, and in some cases to repeal the laws, all on the state and local levels, not at the federal level. It's still illegal. Marijuana is still illegal. Marijuana remains illegal under federal law. I never jumped on that bandwagon for pot in lieu of traditional pain management meds. I don't like either. I don't know that I don't like pot because I have one of the only damn people you know of that's never tried pot at my age is me. I can't stand smoke for one thing. And I certainly don't want to put that crap in my system. I don't like the wide open prescriptions for most anyone with an ailment of any kind. Oh, my back hurts. I need some drugs. And I have fought those who have no problems with scripts for hydrocodone and like types of dope. Now comes a report that I could have predicted. Adults who consume cannabis are nearly 4 times more likely to develop type 2 diabetes than those who don't. A new study, a real study. It's not really major significant now. More likely to develop type 2 diabetes than people who don't use pot. Researchers led by Dr. Ibrahim Kamel from the Boston Medical Center in Massachusetts analyzed medical records from 54 healthcare organizations, not people, across the U.S. and Europe. They compared almost 100,000 cases, people with cannabis-related diagnoses, from casual users to those with dependency, to more than 4.16 million people, individuals who had no record of drug use or chronic illness. Over a 5-year period, 2.2% of cannabis users developed type 2 diabetes compared to just 0.6% of non-users. That's 4 times as many users. That 2.2% is still relatively insignificant as a number, but it is significant when you look at the total number of them being in the millions of people. 2.2% is a lot of people compared to 0.6%. 0.6 or 2.2%. Even after adjusting for other health risks, which include high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease, and alcohol or cocaine use, marijuana users still faced a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
Experts say a possible explanation is that marijuana affects appetite, metabolism, and insulin resistance. Cannabis use is often associated with poor eating habits. Yeah, I got the munchies, and guess what I'm going to do? I ain't going to eat good food. I'm going to eat garbage,
Ice cream.
which may contribute to rising
Not
blood
that I
sugar
do it.
levels over time. Smoke pot, quadruple your chance of developing diabetes. What an opportunity. Never been in favor of legalizing marijuana. Yes, it's a victimless drug. No, it's not. Look at the other effects, the impact that it has on pretty much everything else that's going on.
Well, it's interesting. I will say this. It happened to me 14 years ago because I have a medical condition with one of my organs. And the physician said that would help.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana would help it with its degeneration of what's going on. And he said, I'd write you a prescription, but there's no place for you to be able to Get it filled in North
In other
Carolina,
words, the only thing you can do is go out to the street corner dealer and get it.
which I'm not, I'm not going to do that. So, did he have medical research that made him say,
At that
Chris,
time,
I would get it.
likely.
probably?
I mean, it's come up and down, up and down, up and down, and this the impact on whether it causes type 2 diabetes. Only 2.2% of all cannabis users develop it.
Well, I think eventually North Carolina will catch up with the rest of the world, but I can tell you at every single convention, every single year, the Republican convention, somebody was always would always put forth a resolution to have marijuana legalized. And what happens when somebody puts that, we vote on it, and if we pass it, then it's given to the general, to our, our people, our Republicans there in Raleigh to act on. It's never, ever passed.
Nope.
I still think we still have a lot of the Bible Belt here in North Carolina.
Yes.
And a lot of the
Whether it's
people-
Bible Belt or whether it's whatever.
Well, I think a lot of people still are not ready. A lot of our voters are not ready to legalize it.
I'm
They're
not
not
ready to
ready to look
legalize
at it. Well, I have pros and cons on it. I really do. And I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make the decision. But how different is it smoking marijuana and getting it high than going to the liquor store and getting a fifth of liquor and getting drunk and driving?
You can't.
It's
really difficult to compare one evil with another, which is worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But if you've got one that's legal, they tried to
Mm-hmm.
do something about that. Look what happened. Prohibition, which made it even worse.
Right.
Pot's not legal.
Right.
Why would you make it legal? And then you find out in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years that, oh my God, I wish you hadn't done that, because it's killing brain cells. And we're having 3-eyed babies born.
Well,
We're
that's what
having
I'm
this
saying.
and that. But then,
so
and then,
debatable.
then you, at that point in time, you cannot make it illegal again. It's
Well-
difficult to make something illegal that's already legal.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But it's such a huge debate on it. I can see both sides. I can see, me personally, I don't deal with it.
Nope.
Never have. Not interested in it, because 18 years of age, I was wearing a gun and a badge. So I was on that side,
Yeah.
So but I know people personally that are able to get it and smoke it to help with their medical issues.
Mhm.
And it helps them a lot. Now, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't know about all that stuff, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of pros and cons.
In their minds, it helps them a lot. That's all
That's right.
that you know.
Well, that's true. That's true. But it's a very debatable topic. I don't foresee it ever being legalized in North
In
Carolina
my
for a
mind,
while.
every time I go up there and I eat some of that watermelon that I got in there, it just makes me feel so much better.
I was going to tell you, because when you talked about junk food, the first thing I thought of was ice cream. That's why I said ice cream. The ice cream that you and I like, that usually I'll send you a message and say it's on sale 2 for $6.
Uh-huh.
Within 1 week's time, it jumped from 2 for $6 to 2 for $8.
Yes, I know.
It went up $1 a gallon. I'm like, what's up with that?
Cows.
Are the cows gotten a little classy or something right now? You got to have the nails painted before they give milk.
You got the price of electricity to keep the freezers cold. You got the storage. You got the transportation costs. Look at the transportation costs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot. The price of gas and diesel is coming down.
Well, North Carolina Utilities has already put out the warning that prices are going to go up this winter
Why?
on your oils and your heat, your gases.
Well, I think,
Good question. Why?
I got to get more wood.
Yeah.
well,
I'm thinking about converting
I'm
mine back to wood.
I'm gonna be cutting down trees in the neighborhood.
I need a screen top.
we might want to get our insurance commissioner on the show soon,
Well,
because there's
automobile. I know.
the automobile insurance is allegedly getting ready to go up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
what
heard
are we
that the
what
other
are we
day.
going to do about all of that? I mean, when you are on a fixed income and you use every dime of your
Mhm.
money
It's ridiculous.
for the payments at today's prices, how do you pay for more? Where does that come from? Do you
Well,
have to resort to what? What does a person, a family,
Mhm.
who are on fixed incomes do when every nickel, every dime of their money goes to just maintaining where they are today?
Utilities, yes.
What do you do now? Do you make your house colder in the winter, hotter in the summer? What do you do?
Well,
I know their expenses are going up, but why are their expenses
I
going
can
up?
tell you, I keep mine warmer in the summer and colder
Why
in
are
the
their
winter.
expenses going up? Are they paying the salaries of other people that are actually working more money? Yeah, they get increases every year, but they're in the working staff. But the people on fixed income, their salaries don't go up.
You know, I understand what you're saying. I've done everything possible to cut back. You know, on my electricity, I have a special thermostat. I got a
I have
$50
too.
gift card from Jones Onslow already this year for being wise consumer. I cut back on the water, except for when I leave it running. And I cut back on everything. I don't go out and splurge anymore. I don't go out shopping. I can't tell you the last time I went into Belk's, J.C. Penney, any of the stores like that.
There are times that my Jeep will not leave its parking space here for 4 or 5 days.
I have a quarter of
At
a
a
tank
time.
right now, but I didn't fill up. I filled up 2.5 weeks ago. So
It will not leave its parking space
Mhm.
sometimes for 4 or 5 days at a time.
mine doesn't leave.
I can
Feel
give you.
like a hermit.
It
Saturday
comes
and
down to
Sunday.
3 letters.
Right.
CEO.
Look at
And
their
I'm talking
salaries.
about. I'm even talking about here in Onslow County and
Yeah.
Jacksonville. CEOs.
a 1% or 2 or a 5% increase, or what they call cost of living increase, for somebody that's already making $250,000 a year is a
Yeah,
big
why?
chunk of real change.
Yes,
Some of
it is.
these CEOs and these pharmaceutical giants, they're making more than the president of the United States.
I had never forget in a meeting of a TV group, and of course back in the day in the 70s, the general manager, who was a vice president in the corporation at that time, he said, "You know what? It costs me. I understand, because with people complaining about money,
Mhm.
everybody complains about money, and they were talking about money." He said, I understand that I go to the grocery store and it costs me the same thing it does you for a loaf of bread. When the price goes up, it costs me. Yeah, but you drive there in your
bread.
Fleetwood Cadillac.
Yeah.
That's what somebody told him too.
A loaf of bread, the prices.
And we're paying starting reporters in those days enough that if you're a starting reporter after 4 years of college, he gets out, he gets his degree, and God help him if he got one in communications, because that's useless. But or political science. If you come out of college after 4 years, you can figure the next 2 years it should be. You better get some more money for your education, because the next 2 years you're still learning. You're not even earning the meager salary that you get. And if you get 2 other roommates, you might at the end of a month be able to split a pizza after you pay all of your other expenses.
Mhm.
That's basically the way it was.
It's actually the way it is.
And in Florida, and if you wanted to be a DJ in Florida, you know how they paid you? In sunshine. That's what they would tell you. Because everybody wanted to work in Florida.
But I'm anxious to see the inflation rates start to dip. It's been long enough.
I'm glad to
Come
see
on,
that
let's go.
Price of gasoline yesterday,
Yes.
when I got some, was $2.52 at least 2
good,
stations
'cause
in
I need
town.
some.
2 stations. My primary station, Wawa, is one of the reasons the price of gasoline
Yes,
at
it
all the
is.
places are down.
Yes.
Do not be deceived. I'm going to tell you right now. You're going to get to sign up for this particular company here, there, around town, and you'll get 3%, 3 cents off per gallon. You sign up. Okay, that's good. The problem is once a month or something, they will say, you buy gasoline here, 5 gallons every week for a month, and we'll give you 10 cents off a
I'm
gallon.
getting 25 cents off.
10 cents off a gallon. And then for that particular week that they allow you to get that 10 cents off, that price goes from $2.58 to $2.79 a gallon. I know it. I've watched it happen.
Yeah, I know. I'm right now. I think I've got one more tank I can get for 25 cents off per gallon.
You better get it before they change it. And the 25
That's
cents
what I
off
have.
at 2.79 is how much a gallon? That's 2.54, and it's already
Mhm.
2.52 at Sam's and Wawa.
All right. Right now,
I'm just telling you.
it's 2.89 right now where I, let me see. Don't I? I think I have another fill up.
Anyway, we've talked enough.
Tomorrow, Salem Clark with Onzo County Tourism. will be our
Yay,
guest in
Salem!
the
Haven't talked
studio.
to her in a year.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all that's happening here in Onzo County. And we need to discuss the Rock the Block tomorrow night on New Bridge Street.
I hear.
You know, they're having a great big to do there
Yep.
where they're going
Haven't
to
seen a lot of-
celebrate.
I haven't seen a lot of publicity on it, but
The only thing I've seen is come across the Jacksonville City's Parks and Recreation.
So for you folks who don't pay attention to government websites and all you do is play on social media,
Well, I'll find a poster and send it
so
out
we'll
today.
get it out.
But yeah, celebrating the remodeling and roading, servicing, etc. of
Renovation.
New Bridge Street is very nice.
Yes,
It's
it is.
very,
Very
very
nice.
nice. Dude, good job.
There's no bouncing.
No, there's no.
No.
Yeah.
But look
See what I can
for
find.
your nearest parking space and grab it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only concern I have right now. Is,
Yeah, well, drive
but you
around
know,
the
you've
block
got
a few
the
times.
city hall to park
You
in.
got the post office
You-
has a few spots.
Over on this side in the non-gated area.
Yes.
Don't go in the gated area. You might see your vehicle again. And then you've got some back
Mail it
behind
somewhere.
the bicycle shop
Yeah.
is a parking lot. Back behind the post office is some parking. So
Jacksonville Conference Center.
yeah, Jacksonville Conference Center, yes, which is now the Rotary.
Yes.
The Rotary. So there's parking.
Just got to look for it.
Got to look for
Okay.
it. You might have to do a little walking.
We'll see you in the morning. And we'll have Salem in here to chat. Have a great rest of
Have
your
a
day.
blessed
Be
day.
safe out there. Bye. You're live and local. Real talk where we're awake, not woke. See ya.